It's time for these wild Mustangs to feel human touch, to accept a saddle on their back, a leg on their side, a bit in their mouth. And for a special select few, this acceptance and training will be crucial. That's because they'll be selected for the United States Border Patrol.
The world's longest roundup. Hank Curry. I'm the head trainer. I'm Supervisor 1 for the Department of Correction. Well, actually we're selecting a couple of horses for the Border Patrol has taken about a dozen horses from us in the last year, and they're getting along real well with them. We're real proud of what they're doing with them, and we're proud of our product.
Hank Curry came to the Nevada prison system 10 years ago to help train and eventually adopt out wild Mustangs taken off the range by the BLM. But he doesn't do it by himself. At any one time, approximately 15 inmates work here at the Stewart Conservation Camp in the gentling saddling program. Hank interviews each and every inmate before he's allowed into the operation. Most have no experience with horses or training when they come here, despite what they say.
You know, my guys have, over the period of time that I've been here, they will tell the other inmates that are interviewing, don't go in there and lie to Hank, because he's going to know right away if you're lying. And you will know if, he will know when you walk through the gate whether you're a horseman or not. And so just be honest with him, and if he likes something about you, he'll give you a chance. If you show a willingness to work or a desire to improve yourself, he may take you.
Hank says one of the first steps is teaching an inmate how to ride.
All right. I felt I was real adept at teaching. It is a different world with inmates, but teaching is teaching.
But as time goes on, the training gets more complex.
You have to think like a horse, or it can be dangerous. You go in the pen with the horse, he's going to bounce off the fence, he might run right back over the top of it. And that's kind of a secondary nature for a horse, is if he can't escape, he might try to take you out. He wants to level the playing field, and if you're in the dirt, that's okay too. They teach honesty for one thing, and that's not a real abundant thing in prison, I don't think.
Hank says honesty is just one of the many attributes these horses have. Their wild nature and the inmate's propensity towards instant rewards, quick results, and sometimes angry response rarely mesh here.
There you go.
Hank says it takes a while to come to a meeting of the minds, but it's worth it for both man and horse.
I've learned a lot about horses, but I've learned a lot more about myself, because I can't lie to a horse. I can lie to any human being I want to, but I can't lie to a horse. I think horses have made me a better person. I've picked out some of my flaws. Like, I used to not talk to people. I used to not trust anybody, and now I can kind of trust people.
Different means of communication. Patience.
Horses are great teachers, because if you work with a horse and you're having a problem one day and you don't fix it, that's the first thing you're going to address the next day when you get here, because the horse, he didn't give up yet, and so you're going to have to face that problem again. The horse demands that they pay attention to that horse and work hard, give that horse an honest chance, and then the horses respond in a positive way.
The two, the horses and the inmate are kind of on the same grounds. They're both incarcerated in a sense, and now they have to form a partnership to help each other get out, basically.
But training a horse sometimes more than one at a time is not the only task for inmates accepted into the program here.
What's up, fellas?
They're expected to clean pens and water troughs, feed the animals daily, whether it's a nice spring day or there is snow on the ground.
And what's really impressed me, particularly the people that's been running this program over the years, is that when an inmate comes out to the program, one of the first things they learn, and they're going to learn it real quick, is they learn a work ethic. Come in, some of these guys has come off the streets, never really had anything to care about, never cared about anything. And here, they're assigned a horse, and that horse is dependent upon them.
Half the backyard horses in America are hard to catch when you walk into the corral. These horses meet you at the gate. They're easy to halter, saddle, clean their feet. We teach them that thing, all that stuff, and we desensitize these horses.
150, 150 bed now, 200, 200, 200, 200, wait about a 2.
The 4 months of training all come down to this, the saddle horse adoption, which happens 4 times a year. Potential buyers can come from all over the West to bid on the horses. Horses can go for a couple hundred to a couple $1,000s.
The American public get a horse that they can lay their hands on and ride pretty much right away.
Oh my gosh, he's done such a great job.
I'm just glad to see you got a good home.
Can we sniff?
A good friend of mine, when he found out I had this job, he told me, he said, I think that's a waste of the taxpayers' money. You know, he's a pretty conservative guy. And I said, well, you probably should just come to one of our auctions. And he came over and apologized. You're right, he goes, these guys, they act like gentlemen. They conduct themselves well during the sale. They're good with the horses. He goes, I was amazed.
But not all horses in the program will go this route. On their very first day, Hank will select a few for color, size, and temperament.
He has possibilities, so we're gonna take him for the Border Patrol. So I'm gonna tell these guys, and then we'll put him in a separate pen. Okay. The second horse is going to go out, back to the pen. First horse goes in the 30. Third horse goes in the 30.
A handful of Mustangs will make the grade and be separated from the others. And if they show the aptitude, they will one day patrol the other side of the fence.
In the 30. The third horse goes in the 30.
Since the partnership between the BLM, Stewart Conservation Camp next to Northern Nevada Correctional Center, and the U.S. Border Patrol nearly 2 years ago, trainer Hank Curry finds himself always on the lookout for Mustangs that fit the bill.
And so we got some good blacks here. 30! I'll use him in my auction for May. He's a little bright colored for Border Patrol. Well, for the Border Patrol, they want horses with a little more size.
In this group, one stout, curious horse enters the chute.
He's awesome.
The young gelding seems more calm than most, even staying relatively still for Hank to adjust the identification tag around his neck.
You're no help at all.
And snip our cameras.
Border Patrol, second hand.
The stout black bay joins the other select horses who have made the first cut and will stay confined to this pen for the next week to acclimate to their new surroundings.
Nathan Wilson, I'm 25 years old, and I'm serving time for robbery. Kind of gentleman horses for adoption, and I figure it's a great opportunity for me to learn something, be able to get these horses a good home.
For the past year and a half, Nathan Wilson has been in the Mustang training program. This horse will be the 9th he's worked with, his 3rd with the Border Patrol. Because this horse will be in the spotlight, Wilson gives him a name that sticks.
Might as well give him a good name, Hollywood. Couldn't be a better name than that.
Yeah.
But Wilson will tell you naming the 4-year-old gelding will be the easy part. The inmate says old habits and personality traits that he's had when he entered the prison at 18 years of age have dissolved. He says they just don't work out here.
I didn't really have a care at all. I didn't have no respect, no patience, no responsibility, nothing. I mean, the only thing I had going for me was absolutely nothing.
All of that has to be set aside as Wilson takes Hollywood into the round pen for the first time.
As soon as this horse looks at me, I'm going to back away all pressure. I'm watching for that right there.
It's the hardest work I've ever been involved in. You got to stick with it. You can't just start something and, oh, maybe I'll go get some coffee, I'll do this and do that. You got to stay with it until something happens or you're going to lose all progress. I mean, this is hard work. This is not easy. I was angry, I was aggressive. I mean, I really just didn't care at all. It ain't going to work. I mean, angry and non-patient doesn't work with a horse.
The methodology continues with each step Hollywood and Wilson make together. By the next week, Wilson is working on getting the Mustang used to a saddle. The pad will come first.
This is the whole patience thing right here. See how easy that was? It's all right.
For Wilson and the 4-year-old, it will take all day to accept the pad. Later, with a rope, he'll teach the horse about accepting things around his belly and a bit in his mouth. Soon it's time to get on Hollywood's back.
Oh, it's the best part of the whole training period. Worst thing that can happen is I hit the ground, which I've done 100 times, 1,000 times.
With Hank's help, Wilson and Hollywood walk, trot, and counter around the pen. Stop, start, and change directions.
I think it's an adrenaline rush. I like it. There's nothing better than messing with these horses. They're like big old puppy dogs.
It's a good first ride.
Right on, thank you, Hank. Thanks for not bucking me off on the camera, huh? Huh? Good boy.
The riding continues 5 days a week, 5 hours a day. Within the month, Hollywood is ready to try trailer loading. It's a confined space, one which most horses are initially frightened.
Pretty soon he'll just go right in.
But Hollywood won't load consistently. He's stuck mentally, and as you can see, physically. Wilson asks Hank for help.
Everyone's kind of scared of Hank because he's like an authority figure. Everyone's like against the man, but Hank's really a good guy. He's trying to help us, you know.
You gotta reward the tiniest effort.
What is that, huh? Ooh. Ooh. Good boy. He's a good boy, huh?
Wants to make each horse better. He wants to find easier ways to communicate with the horse. Kind of taking it to another step, he's shown a desire that he wants to be a horse trainer. I guess admire a guy that's positive in what he's doing, and especially in here. You know, there's a lot of things that can drag these guys down.
And as the days and months go on, Wilson is determined to get the big bay prepared to work the border by exposing him to as much as possible. Occasionally, the inmates are allowed to take their Mustangs to the south end of the prison property to check on the cattle.
Boy, good boy, huh?
There are streams and paths, and on their way, there's farm equipment, outbuildings, and abandoned brick buildings for the horses to experience. But as normal as all this looks, there are constant reminders that all of this is going on behind bars. A wider view shows the guard towers, the prison yards, the sharp wire that keeps those inside from leaving and preventing anyone from breaking in. Few would want to come here to learn a lesson. There is perhaps no tougher teacher, but sometimes those teachers come in unconventional forms. They have more force and power than an inmate, but the course of study has nothing to do with strength, except perhaps strength of character.
Every horse will teach me something. And I still have a lot to learn. When they're angry and no patience, trying to get it done, you're gonna get hurt. You gotta just take it slow. You can't go fast, rush anything with a Mustang, with any horse for that matter. You gotta have patience and respect. It's hard work, responsibility. I mean, I can do something with my life if I just take the time, the proper steps, and channel that into a positive energy. I can get a job, I can do everything I need to do. I don't have to go out and get money the fast way by taking it from someone else. I can earn my own money and be responsible.
For Wilson and Hollywood, class is over, and a different kind of school bell will soon ring.
We don't know if we're going to get one today, but we have to find a place to.
Most of the horses who train right alongside Hollywood by fellow inmates will go to good homes at the prison's saddle horse auction.
Ladies and gentlemen, isn't he pretty? And say, who bid 150? 150 where would it bid?
But Hollywood was meant for something else.
It was
hidden.
Yeah.
For good reason. For good reason?
Yeah, for good reason.
And that reason is the Border Patrol. Agents from El Centro, San Diego, and Tucson stations come to the prison to check out the Mustangs, which, because of their build and stamina, are perfectly suited for the work.
He's so gentle, you guys can probably ride him right now if you wanted.
I think he's a great horse. He's well built. He rides really well.
That size is really good.
Hollywood's calmness and kindness, along with his mastering beginner skills, will ultimately win him a spot on the U.S. Border Patrol. But where? For Wilson, it doesn't matter.
He's going to be a happy horse. He's become a real close friend of mine. I spend a lot of time with this horse. Well, maybe one day, when I'm out of here on the other side of the fence, maybe I'll go see Hollywood, see how he's doing, if they let me.
Like Fonzie, cool, calm, collected, really good horse.
The beaches along the border of San Diego and Tijuana. You couldn't get much further from Hollywood's humble beginnings in the Go-Shoot Range in the high desert of eastern Nevada.
My name is Jamel Ramirez. I've been with the Border Patrol for 7 years, 4 of those years with the Horse Patrol.
Like most of the riders, Jamel Ramirez had no experience with horses when he initially entered the mounted unit.
To be honest, I was a little afraid of the horses. I mean, you can see how big they are, and just to see that anytime they want to take off, you're pretty much at their mercy. So.
But the Border Patrol provides intense training for its recruits. For 8 weeks, Monday through Friday, 6 hours a day, agents learn how to work with horses, who they will depend upon during a 6 to 7 hour shift. Hollywood, too, had to take classes to further desensitize him to the new lay of the land. Inside this large outdoor arena, Hollywood learns to acclimate to objects that would have formerly scared him, like this generator and waving flag. He'll also be required to help in crowd control. That's where this big ball comes in.
When we get into riot control situations, they can push a crowd out of the way.
From his stall, you can see the Mexican border, but as you get closer, you can appreciate the more than 150 miles patrolled by the San Diego sector. Hollywood recently came from a place of fences, but these are on a much grander scale. And his job isn't his and Ramirez's alone. That would be impossible. He also works with and may depend upon men riding ATVs or trucks. Here on the border sits a California state park with an ocean on one side, land dense with vegetation on the other. It's quite a contrast to the Tijuana, Mexico side with condominiums and a bullfighting ring. Besides patrolling on the ground, there is surveillance from the air with lights and cameras. You'll hear the constant noise of helicopters. It's training for the U.S. Navy and Coast Guard, who are willing to help if requested.
What we're going to come upon. There's a lot of dangerous people out there that are trying to come into our country, not just to work, but to do bad things in our country.
Besides the ocean to patrol, there is desert and mountains too.
Well, we want a good horse that has, has good height, good build. It's a young horse that we can, add on to the training that they've already done at the prison, and that's a good, well-fitted horse that's got a lot of stamina.
And along with Ramirez and Hollywood, Willow, the lab mix, accompanies the team. Ramirez, formerly a dog trainer, says the horse and dog joined up almost immediately. Willow serves as an extra set of eyes and ears for Hollywood and Ramirez. With a simple sit, he alerts Agent Ramirez that he has located someone in the bushes.
Show me. Show me. Show me.
He and Hollywood will go investigate. In all, the agent says it's enjoyable and rewarding work.
Something unique. You come to work, and I'm basically doing what people, pay to do it during the weekend. So I love it. It's great.
But it is not without its risks. On the day we made our visit to the San Diego sector, flags were at half-staff. A Border Patrol agent in Arizona had been killed in the line of duty.
We go out, we patrol, we never know what we're going to come upon. There's a lot of dangerous people out there.
Which makes the initial training of Mustangs like Hollywood so crucial and appreciated.
We're a team now together, so he helps me do my job, which is, enforce immigration laws and protect our borders. So, yeah, they're definitely serving a purpose, and it's great.
As their shift ends, Hollywood gets a bath, Ramirez gets a rest. The gear is cleaned and put away alongside the other horses' groom boxes and tack.
We're together 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, so it definitely becomes a partner. You get attached to him.
Gathered from the high desert in Nevada, he taught an inmate the meaning of patience and persistence and fellowship. This Mustang now wears a badge and stands guard on the other side of the fence. If you are interested in making a clothing or tack donation to the Mustang Training Program at NNCC Stewart Conservation Camp, email tbryant@doc.nv.gov.